they're new to the Fight Night stage, which is always exciting.
Yeah, really excited to see exactly what these players have in store for us. Taking a look at the compositions, fairly standard coming out from Spot Up. They do have the Raze for themselves, so it's going to be Raze Duelist up against Double Duelist on the other side. We've got the Reyna and Raze for tNt.
Reyna's, the Razes rather. Reyna, I think, has become kind of more standard, but the Raze, certainly an interesting look. Kenny K is going to be piloting it, and storming up the front here, the Boombot will open up as players start to aggress towards A. Think about it twice, though. PS Spike still in spawn. So tNt look like they've committed to A, but they really haven't committed anywhere with the Spike that far away from them.
Yeah, and this is a different look coming out for the defensive Cypher, playing over at that connecting area between A and B, which generally we see him, anchor either C or A site now since the last patch. So this is a different hold coming up from Spot Up.
Well, this is one that he doesn't have any tripwires, no utility, so maybe just going where they need a gun rather than particularly Cypher. The smokes are down at B, and the Spike is going to push forward as well. 5 players standing, and the Spike is planted. You know, I had a feeling we would go all the way to C, but the fluke flank comes out at B. tNt are ready to go.
Rarely do we see a 5v5 retake situation, especially on the pistol round here, as Cryocells goes in, gets 2.
Oh, Kai's going to answer back, but it is a 2-for-1. So 4 players up on tNt. Kenny K! And the attackers take this one. A little bit of a font update, too. Huh.
Yeah, a lot of new animations coming out, and so it's been great to see. And I believe there are some more UI updates as well. So, again, seeing it all for the first time feels great.
It is kind of fun to watch for sure. I'll be honest with you, man. I am kind of a smooth brain. Give me a UI update, and I'm here. That's why when cell phones first came out, I'm just sitting there updating my apps. Like, please change the UI. Don't even care if you just move 2 buttons. I just want the change. I want to see the visual.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've come to appreciate UI and UI designers. I didn't know that was an actual thing, but the philosophy behind it makes so much sense now. And I was like, yeah, of course, this is a thing.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, I come from MMOs. I'm a big old turbo nerd, and like designing your UI is a big part of that. So I am definitely locked up in there. A site locked up here by tNt. Spike, unfortunately, a little far away, but this is their side if they want to go for it.
Yeah, and now this mid control coming out, though they do have the flank, but A completely free for tNt. They'll be able to get that bomb plant. And they even got heaven control.
Nice. So this is, as we say, the bomb planted for long, so to speak. Player trying to get there, but tank can't even get there. Here's the backside, though. Cryocells and Core HH able to find it. 3 in the hands of those guys. And only 1 remaining. Figment here going for the knife was probably not the game plan.
Definitely not. So that's going to be 2 under the belt for the attackers. But again, it's like, how much did they really invest into this? How many of the SMGs are they going to be holding on to? And it looks like they will be holding on to 2. So a little bit down in terms of firepower up against Spot Up. And we see often teams struggling here on that 3rd round because it's not a true full rifle round.
Not quite. I'm worried about some of these angles, though, because those rifles, 1 taps, you know, that's what you're looking for on the defensive end. Rushing into them with SMGs. It's easier to run into SMGs than the rifles. I guess that's an obvious statement. But really what I'm trying to get at is when we're talking with tac shooters like this and 1-tap headshots, stuff like that, he who holds the angle will always have the advantage. And so with respect to the rifles, if you're just sitting here holding your spot, that's more dangerous than getting rushed on by rifles.
Yeah, if you're holding the angle, you hit the headshot, there you go, 100 damage, easy. Even with the SMGs, you just need to hit 2 more bullets after that, generally, to finish them all off. But default play coming out from tNt here is they're trying to probe out the defense. And this is the time to play that default, where you're trying to figure out exactly what kind of guns they have. And especially try to find that first pick. Now, they are starting to congregate over to C long, though.
All of them but one. And tNt have done this before. This was how they started the game off, by playing this hilarious big boy flank. Just put everything on one side and send one the other direction. Figment's actually going to find the kill. And that sends everybody kind of awry. C site will be pushed on and planted. Just like that. Spot up 5 players to defend it against tNt's 4 players to defend it against Spot Up's 5.
Yeah, this flank, though, coming out from the tNt Cypher can be huge as Cryostelz finds one, gets a second here. Now it's still a 2v3 on this retake.
We're 3 with 2.5 rounds in. Kai with 3 and Figment with 4. Spot Up going to get on the board here. And I already am getting used to seeing some of these names. Cryocell is repeatedly looking for the flank and repeatedly getting it often. And if anybody on the team has something to say about it, it's usually Kai. But Cryocell's is 6 and 2, and I think it's largely because he's just lurking.
It was a little odd. I felt like Cryocellz might have been better served on that 4-person push, just because you are that Cypher, right? With the camera, you could make it a lot easier to clear the sights and clear angles. And so you know exactly how to push in, especially once you got that slow and forced back the defenders into their spawn. They could have gotten the bomb plant down earlier. That rotate coming out from A would have been slower. It might have better served them to have Cryocellz in that 4-man push.
Spike lifted home here. 2-1, tNt looking for their third by just fragging. But Tucker, sitting here tucked in the corner, gets the double kill. It's a 2-for-1 so far. Spot Up on the good side. Tucker throws out some ordnance, but there's really no one around the corner. There's one. Tucker grabs it almost accidentally, but in fact, the tank shows up with the Marshall.
Yeah, and Kai is going to be able to get that res on to Bunny. And so 2v4 on this defense, and they weren't able to get onto a site. And now take a look at the flank from Figment.
Ooh, nice job. Players know where he's at, though, at this point. Spike down. And this is why you love the Cypher. He doesn't even have to be in sight to see the bomb.
There you go. Spots him out. They know exactly where he is. They're going to go hunting.
Pop. Defenders take it. Tied at 2 here. Those rounds are always so... You're sitting there and you're like, can he do... No. Okay. Sweet. Next. Very matter-of-fact rounds for the guys on tNt right now.
Yeah, tNt now into an eco round here. We got some ghosts along with sheriffs and some light armor. Generally, I don't invest light armor into, these eco rounds, just for the simple fact that, I could easily just get one tap and there we go. I wasted 400 credits. I
think the light armor is because you can actually fight in these corridors, right? Especially with pistols. So if you're, there's the hopeless eco and then maybe we can do it eco. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they feel confident about this one. Boombot's going to go in. Reyna's going to turn out the lights. Kai with a beautifully timed wall just sat here waiting. And despite tNt using a whole bunch of good stuff, they wound up with the bad stuff. SVL goes down real quick. Tucker on the backside here. Tossing out the satchels. The one tap won't find it. Figment with the rifle answers back. And it's a 3-on-5 here. tNt still no spike plant.
Yeah, that was a great shoulder peek coming out from Figment as he peeked out from garage doors here. Spots one out, and Spot Up just really turning on the pressure onto tNt. tNt now with 40 seconds left and not much really behind all of this. So are just going to try and go for a Hail Mary play here, I think, onto the B site to try at least get the plant for themselves.
It's a rough one. They got to run right up mid. 23 seconds on the clock. One tap not going to be there from Kenny K. Friendly wall. Right side. Tucker gets one. That's it. The second one will fall as well. And the defenders are able to grab it. No problem. That's an eco.
It's a lot of teams, again, struggling after that third round when they take the first 2 rounds of the pistols. And it seems to be a running theme at this point, which is why I think an adjustment that a lot of teams need to start making is maybe going a little bit lighter on that second round buy. Let's take a look at how Spot Up was able to bring it, take back the lead, or will take the lead with 3 in a row there.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the times I round 1, if you trounce them, or if you're familiar with the team, right? If there's a skill mismatch, buy up. But I think if it's even, or even you got lucky, real light buys. I'm with you. I almost like to see 2 pistol rounds in a row sometimes. It just depends on what your teammates or what the enemy team's going to do here. B side almost empty, and tNt with their most successful push yet. Going to be able to get up through B side, not even going for it. A side seems to be the target.
And they do have to be careful as they funnel right in. Tucker finds 2 with that showstopper.
And the rest is all red. 2 players left to come and try and retake this one. They're in between C and B right now. I think the noise players are aware, but give me a corpse. 2 players right behind the wall. Everybody knows where they are. Tem picks up SVL, and he's not high, he's low. There's another one for Tem. Figment finds the other, a third for Tem. But all the while, we were getting the defuse, and that be that. Spot Up with number 4 after 6.
And I like TMT's approach there, but Spot Up doing a really good job of just not over rotating. They just stopped there, even though the B site plant was possible. The fact that it didn't go down immediately kind of, signaled the warning blares for Spot Up. So holding that angle for Tucker to just hold that door with his ultimate, that was a great decision for him.
Certainly worked out here. We're going to see the boost for the odd angle. And the idea here, this isn't a better look than you would get on the floor, but when you're jumping out there, when the opponent is jumping out there with a rifle, they won't be looking at that particular spot. Crosshair placement, I'm sure you've been yelled about that in your ranked unrated games. So big push here. Kenny K is not going to find it. Cryocells will. It's 4-on-5. tNt offensively strong. Trade out's good. 4-on-2 as Core finds the follow-up. Now they got rifles. tNt looking cute, feeling cute for round 7.
This is quite the eco round for tNt, as they're able to blitzkrieg on to the B site. Cryocells will be able to take out his counterpart, and tNt finally answer back after 4 in a row for Spot Up.
That's a pretty skin. Thank you. Pick it back up. I appreciate it.
Oh, I didn't see the skin.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah, the yellow one, the bright yellow one.
Okay. I'm a fan. I like it a lot. I was a big fan of the Asimov skins in CSGO. And it's got that similar aesthetic. I know there are other skins in this game that are more in line with that, especially in terms of color. But yeah, I can get down with it. Very modern.
Yeah, I'm minimal, I'm modern, and a lot of the Valorant skins just haven't really spoken to me just yet, but I do like that one. Look at this arrow here. Almost perfect, a little bit too strong. It won't find anybody on the ground. Had it landed a little bit further, it lands right behind, and they get all the information. But a nice line up there. You can certainly use that to your advantage.
This defensive round not going well for tNt. They try to get aggressive, for Spot Up. They try to go aggressive onto mid, but the snipers just had the angles. Were able to hold that. Kenny K with that boost up to heaven. Takes out Figment. And it looks like tNt, barring a miracle from Spot Up, will be able to tie it up 4-4.
Can we go back to Heaven real quick? The player that was in, I have no idea if I can actually do that sort of thing.
The Kenny K boost?
Yeah. That was interesting. Yeah, up here. So it looked like Kenny K was trying to line up something on that box. I wanted to know if he could jump down there. Shout outs to our production team for being able to move that fast. That's nobody likes it when a caster says something like that. So shout outs production squad. Sorry guys. Yeah, it's 4-on-4 or 4-2-4. No way spot ups are gonna look for anything here. Just old fashioned save and dance.
Oh, he's going to try and save, but they are on the hunt. Walled off, and they do not get him.
Love it. Love it. Big plays. Kai held the wall last time, or a couple of rounds ago as well, shutting down that rush into mid. I think a lot of players are worried about using their wall too late, because if they die with it still in their inventory, that's a big no-no, right?
Yeah.
So watching Kai be very patient with that wall and use it when he needs it, instead of just like check the box, wall this angle, is really kind of impressive to me.
We do have 3 people ready to push. Bomb's even all the way up to Cubby at C longs. This is a little bit scary, and it might be a commit by tNt. They haven't used anything anywhere else to try and sell a fake. So right now, we do have the Rays considering rotating early on. Here they go. They're pushing in. Kai gets Kenny K first.
Already feeling good about that. Not that one. Oh no, caught with the hands in the pockets. And tNt get on the site, but they're not having a great job of feeling comfortable inside. Cryocell's waiting in garage, takes out one, and Filament will answer on back. So spot up 3 players to play defense versus tNt's 2. The spike has been picked up, and it's going to be planted here at the C site.
He was actually forced off that plant there by the ultimate. Core answering with 1 now. It's still a 1v2, and Tucker will be able to finish it off. And I think tNt showed their hands just a little bit there. You know, when you want to try and go for these takes, you got to play a little bit more contact. They got spotted out, and at that point, you know, they had to commit a little bit faster. I think the simple fact that they had the bomb all the way up at Cubby was a little bit weird, I will admit, because that is a full commit onto that play.
Yeah, you know, at the same time, I often find, you know, we say damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? I see everybody always leaves the spike back at base and then plays for contact. And I have seen more than enough rounds lost because the players had to go like doubling back to get the bomb gives enough time for the counter rotation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I maybe damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm willing to ask to see more aggressive plays like that. It was awkward that, you know, that's the downside to it, but dying with the spike in the Cubby, but they eventually did win it out. The site, not the round, but that's a different story.
Money ends up getting a kill onto the spike carrier there, and so Core forced to use that resurrect, bringing it back to a 5v5. And so now time's dwindling down. That pick was huge. It brings it down to 45 seconds here as tNt now looking to rotate this cross map.
They've been looking for this quite a number of times. The first round of the game was a double back. We saw 1 player with the spike on the left side of the map and 4 players force A. And ultimately the spike was planted at B. And I think that kind of showed us what type of game tNt was looking to play on the aggressive side. Tucker long range, taking down Kenny K. Bomb still not down, leaving B site.
Yeah, they're doing that rotate once again over to the A site, but have they made enough inways here? It's just the 2 of them. It's going to be a 2v2 mirror retake situation.
All right. tNt have the spike down, but spot up. Like you said, just the 2 of them, but they can make it if they try.
Oh, and they got the res as well.
That's big. All right. Here's the push in. With the tripwire down, they've got a rush on in. Cryocell sitting directly on it. Picks off one to the left. Expects the player to the right. Has the teammate. Gets taken down. Tem looking good. Does he have the time?
It looks like it. And so that was a clutch res coming out from Spot Up there to secure that round. But I still like the positioning coming out from tNt, having one right on bomb on site, holding that left angle, and then having the Sage all the way back at short A to cover his right so that he could hard scope that angle there. He got the first kill off of it, just ended up, getting double peaked from the right, and they end up going down. Still, they played that well for the situation they were in.
6-4 after 10. And economy-wise, we've got rifles on the side of tNt. Spot Up should be sporting something similar, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see how it all works out as players position towards B. Again, note where the spike is. In no man's land. They've committed here. Kenny K through the smoke takes down Bunny, and Spot Up only have 4 to play D.
And because they committed the res into that last round, they won't have it for this one. But we'll see, as they are now starting to poke and prod over at B, just waiting for a rotation to be committed at this point. But we do have a flank coming out from Spot Up. We'll get spotted by that trap wire, though.
Caution here.
Bombot's going to clear out B, and it's a fake. They're going to toss the Bombot right into B and then rush towards C, but a good tripwire is going to pick off or at least capture the information of at least one. Reyna turns out the lights, SVL gets the kill. Tank is also going to walk in, put down Kai on the right-hand angle, and the wall off corridor is strong. With the spike down, Spot Up have 2 players. Jamerson, save or fight?
Oh, you save. Going into the last round of the half, you just got to have to save here, especially with how back and forth this half was. I don't know how strong their economy is, but you got to imagine that it's not that strong. So, tNt haven't lost anybody. This is an extremely good round for them. And indications, it points towards a 6-6 half.
That's what you want. I mean, often you expect to be down a couple on the offensive. Teams repeatedly opt for the defender side of the site. Figment finds it, and the attackers are able to go ahead and get it. Spike detonated. Easy peasy. And now our last round of the half here. And rifles abound and an op for core.
Yeah. So those saves were massive.
Yes.
Definitely massive, as you saw Figment and Tucker being able to buy out for their squad. It just comes down to Bunny having to pick up an SMG. So at this point, Spot Up have an opportunity. They can still make this a 7-5 half for themselves. But again, lacking a little bit in that firepower. Core HH, of course, with that operator, has been an immovable wall over at mid, and so Spot Up haven't been able to try to get any kind of aggressive play over there happening.
That's a big deal, being able to lock down mid as the aggressive team. We've got a brief pause as our players figure out some tech issues, but to break that down a little bit, what the defensive side wants to do a lot of the times here around mid is you oftentimes see players walk out of garage or challenge right from the middle of mid to this window side. And what that allows players to do is cut off all the multiple angles across that sort of midfield that we have, that's basically anything that's not A or C site. And if you, as the offensive team, can walk forward and just lock down mid with a dedicated op player, I mean, it limits the opponent's abilities to cut down some of those other angles, and you just own mid.
We haven't really seen that much out of Spot Up trying to do that, right? I think, and it's just solely down to being shut down the few times that they have.
Exactly.
Having the Sage there, throwing down the slow orbs over at the doors, it's been massive. At this point, it looks like they might try to go for a peek, though. They throw out the slow orb. No one's there for them to peek.
Recon Bolt will show where the Reyna is. In exchange, she limits the vision. Reload, fall back. A site rotation, perhaps. But players from Spot Up are easing their way down C. You can see Figment getting antsy here. Love that big flank. Shots going out into mid, and Cypher's Slowly gonna put him. Oh, here it is on the backside. Cypher v Cypher.
Here we go, the battle. And it's gonna be Cryo Cells to walk away with that. The ultimate coming out for the last round as well, spotting out everybody.
That Cypher fight was really important. So if the flank comes out, if Cryocells loses that fight and the enemy Cypher is able to flank all the way through, that's likely at least 2, maybe 3, depending on how communicative the other team is. Like if they can communicate those angles and those hideaway spots. Either way, not going to happen this time around. tNt storming the C site. 3 players left for a spot up, but only one is near. Sov is one of them, and he gets 1, but that's it. And so it's up to his 2 teammates to take out tNt's 2 teammates.
Big thing is that for this final round, that showstopper is actually off the board for tNt. That could have almost secured this round. But Cryocells says he doesn't need that at all, and he will be able to finish it off with a 4-piece. We don't get to see that often.
Nope.
Just the Cypher absolutely fragging out.
And I'm here for it, man. Give me. I say all the time, I'm an information guy. I want to play Cypher or Sova every game. Listen, just because we got to provide the minimap intel doesn't mean we can't provide the shots as well. Thank you. Power to the utility players.
Crystal sitting at 17, 7, and 4. It's honestly both Cyphers now. As the top frags for their team. Figment even 11, 6, and 6. So now, swapping sides here, it looks like, yeah, tNt, or excuse me, Spot Up, trying to go for an aggressive push here through mid.
You say that, but long C is where a lot of players are shoving their faces. Let's see the spike over there as well. Only one defender. Oh, the full walk back. The full walk back as they've seem to have gotten the attention of the enemy squad, but they're going to walk it back to mid. An interesting choice for sure. Got to watch the flank though here. tNt have 2 members behind enemy lines. 2 kills go the way of Spot Up, excuse me. Buddy and teammate, but here comes the flank again. It's Cryocells out of nowhere. Tem trades it out. 2 players up in tNt jerseys versus the same from Spot Up. Bunny here underground. And the spike headed towards A. Defense as well. Spike gets here first, but they have to be cautious entering on into the site. Recon Dart won't find anybody. Information gathered. Both players coming from the backside. Bunny gets 1. And the second target is put down. Tank gets something to say about it, but Tem gets the last laugh, and it's 7-6 Spot Up.
Good attack from Spot Up there, even though their push over at C got thwarted by that mid push coming out from tNt, and they had to respond to that. They're at least able to get onto the A side fast enough, and their take there, I do like it. Almost got caught out. Almost got caught looking at his Pip-Boy there, did the Brimstone, but you're able to clutch that one up, and we are back into the same situations, going back and forth between these 2 teams now. 7-6, this pistol round, or this anti-eco round for Spot Up should go their way. Now, another default play coming out from Spot Up here as they are probing just a little bit over at mid. And now tNt making some different moves. 2 players currently holding down over at Garage here. So they do now back away.
You know, my neighbor just drive by. Big old loud stuff. That's how tNt have been playing on the offensive side. I expected aggressive defense. You know, the teams that storm mid. I expected that sort of play, but very, very calculated here this time around. Spot Up are going to do the same thing and slowly walk up C. They're going to be met by a player in connector. And that one goes their way. So spot up 5 players strong. Tosses some ordnance out on the backhand side. And we'll have complete control of the C site. The spike will be planted. Right?
There we go.
I was like, guys, you own the site. Either way, it's down and now looking to defend it.
Yeah, planned for long, so they've already got 3 members there. They also know that cryo cells is on the flank, and so really heavily investing into this flank position now is Tem even using that recon drone, the owl drone. Gonna go ahead and line up a shock dart. Does this actually land just right on the bomb?
Ooh, doesn't matter because Bunny does. Gets out KK. Close and personal is cryo cells. The flank has to be looked at. Left side. Oh, she catches the player off guard. And the snap too. Kai with the first one. Tem with the second. And Shot Up are starting to distance themselves from tNt. And this is what you want to see. This is tNt's kind of last shot, I feel like. They've got 2 opportunities. If things don't go this way, they've got to eco around for, theoretically spot up win number 10, and then are ready to fight for number 11 and 12. So this is a really pivotal round for tNt, I think.
Yeah, and this is the biggest opportunity as well. The simple fact that it's going to be rifles into a couple SMGs, and I believe the only AR is a DMR.
Oh, what?
That happened.
Listen. I know we're testing the young kids in Counter-Strike, but no, I'm just playing. Valorant has anti-cheat that checks your passport. But that was insane. 2 kills through the smoke.
That's one hell of a way to shut down the offense as well. You just have to be careful when you're pushing smoke like that. It blocks vision, not bullets. So
no, Jamerson, there's no way you can't tell me that you've got to expect to get 2K'd through smoke.
It's again, they lined up.
That's fair. Thou shalt not line up.
Yeah.
I'm here for that one. Information. Cypher's got it, and he's got a kill. Cryocells takes down Figment. The teammate takes down Tucker. Tem still on the floor. Here comes the retake. Tank is going to take down Tem. And that's that, folks. Who gets the defuse? It's going to be the Brimstone?
Yeah, he's one off from his ultimate here. And we know how strong it can be, especially for post-plant, and just trying to actually deny the plant itself. So I like that they, of course, kept that in mind. Spot up, though. They will be able to buy up into this round to contest tNt. So we'll see if an operator comes out. They might have had just enough money for that buy, but it might just be ARs. There we go. Yeah, they've got the operator in play, and it's going to be the first one here in this half.
Interesting. Now I hear your neighbors. We got noisy cars around us, huh?
It's about time for me to get that Shure SM7B. I'm gonna be honest here.
I mean, I'm using a nice mic. It is what it is.
Well, it's that dynamic mic though, so you're less likely to pick that up. Or maybe I should just turn on RTX. Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably the play.
Yes. Spot up, wishing they could do that with their footsteps. tNt kind of sees what's going on around B, and they're going to coalesce around there, forcing Spot Up to head all the way down to A site. 3 up banana, and then 2 just going directly in the short way. A little bit of a flame decal on the backside, and that'll prevent players coming on through there. The wall will as well, but there's the spam. Hole open. Kenny up front, Tank behind. 1 player going up high, 2 players going up high. And tNt looking to break on into the other side. Here comes the Owl Drone and a great molly. That'll keep 1 player away. The other 2 that are up top still have yet to really do anything. Getting on in here. The smoke dissipates. Looking for the secondary push. Kenny's going to toss Molly and go for it. Sees the player, backs up. tNt are going to run out of time with this push.
Yeah. At this point, they're all just going to go ahead and back off and go for the save here along with spot up. So they're not going to lose anyone on the exit, which is very crucial when it comes down to this. As we can see, there's also like the map changes that we're seeing across, right? This is one of the big ones. Pushing up to A, the box is on the left. It's gone down instead of being a double box. You don't have to really check that angle anymore. I like these map changes a lot.
Yeah. It's been kind of interesting here on Haven. So in total, we've got the change to garage doors, the change to entrance C long, and then they've opened up some of the space there on A lobby. The 2 connectors and the entrance to the sewer. A sewer, I guess that's the little underground spot. I'm just reading it off the sheet here. So altogether, 6 changes on this map.
Yeah, it's just all those angles. Like if you're pushing up and you've got a... Oh, wow, Tucker.
Wow, beautiful. And Tucker, that's just knowing your opponent. I had just given commendation to the Sage player for holding that wall to the last moment possible. And that was, again, a great example of it. But the Rays player knew what was coming, popped up, put him down. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-4. Spike already planted.
Oh, Cryo sells. 2 on that flank. So they do try and answer back. tNt now down to the 1. He is on site, but Kai's trained on the bomb, on the spike.
Just, I dare you, right?
It's a little ring around the rosy action here for Kenny K, but yeah, I don't think he's going to try and go for it. Again, try to save any money that you can at this point.
Yeah.
If you can get the exits, this would be huge.
Gets 1. That is actually going to be pretty big there. But, oh, information on the second turnaround! Not going to find it. Player successfully hid. Good job there. Take 1 shot with the op, walk away. I like that call. But spot up going to keep their op. Rifles bound. tNt will buy one themselves and rifles as well. Cryo cells, though, kind of broke. We'll go with the Bulldoggy.
That goes there.
We do have 2 operators in play.
Yeah. I find that good for them. I'm in my last round of the I'm buying the top frag on my team and I'm using the Bulldog. Like he's got 23 kills. Give him a Vandal, please.
Now, this lack of attention over to the A site might come back to punish them again, as we already have Cryo Cells pushed up, but this time he's got backup with his Brimstone, as they've given up all kinds of control over at the B site to do this.
Smoke's down.
The wall's going to be on the right side. Location revealed, though. Spike fake planted, and now the run backwards. Oh, yeah. Nice shot from Kai. Are they going to go all the way elsewhere? Yes, they are. C site. All of a sudden, looking for the plant. They should be safe as well. Not going to come around the right side. Instead, sitting right on there. Kai reses Tucker. And now it's a 4-on-2. tNt gets demolished during the rotation. And Kai with 3 in a row.
Things turned around real quick for tNt there. I thought they had a great flank. Ultimately ended up splitting up at the end there, and losing that 50-50 did Cryo Cells as he was trying to push up to C long on the peak. Ooh, nice pickup. See if he gets any more on this exit. He shouldn't, unless he runs into this man over at spawn.
Oh no! Oh no! Lost the op. Number 11 for spot up. And they've got another sniper. Is that worst case scenario for tNt?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, yeah.
Right here.
If he could have just survived with it, it does make a massive difference here, especially because it's coming down to the wire, right? Spot up is one round away from map point. tNt need to cobble together any kind of economy. They're going to be forced into, well, forced by positions soon, as we see SVL on this Sheriff.
Spike left at home. Figment trying to wall spam into garage. Love the Cypher angles. Being able to peek an angle without showing your body is absurd. And Tem's going to do the same thing, but while moving. Owl drone.
You know, we've seen a lot of discipline coming out from players over the last few weeks of also how to deal with the owl drone. Sometimes it's not, you know, blow it up. Sometimes it's play the mind games. Don't shoot it. Trigger discipline. Try and bait them out. And it might have worked. Take a look at that. The rotate going over from tNt, sending 4 people on over to A, basically. Now they are re-rotating back that Sage, but she doesn't want to be there by herself. She's not going to be able to res herself if she dies.
Gotta be tough. Need help from the squad. Smoked off on garage, smoked off back angle as well. And, well, we came up mid or long, so nobody there just yet. We'll have to watch the flank, and that's what we see. 3 players opting to go for here. Connector is where Cryo Cells and a teammate will come from. 2 from garage. Smoke's dissipated. Kai gets 1, but is then traded out by Core. 4 players here and a res from tNt. They're up 5 strong. Looking to push in. Great shot from Tab.
Molotovs are there. Shock darts are there. And this great flank coming out from Figment as he's going to pick up the 4-piece. And now Spot Up are sitting on map points. And it was off of just a great fake, really making tNt over-rotate on that.
Yeah, that's what we've seen. Both of these teams, our first round, and I thought it was just one team, but apparently that's the motif of the match. The first round we had tonight was an across-the-map fake. So, and then the second round was the same thing, but the enemy team, or the third round, the enemy team took it because they flanked on the cross map fake. So that's what we've seen here. Just lurks, odd angles, and repeatedly making people mobile. I mean, these guys have definitely got their steps in.
Now they're poking and prodding this time around over to the A site here. As, they do toss out some utility, but I don't think this one's going to be a fake.
I think they're trying to fake the fake now because they have the Spot Up has the spike with them on the A site, and you see how hesitant tNt are to change. And so, really, what I thought and what I thought was going to happen was that they would fake the fake because tNt would go, "You're not going to fool us twice. We're going to stay here," and then take advantage of the numbers disadvantage. But Spot Up instead going to opt for B, just kind of straight up and down.
Yeah, the mind games, they are getting ready with the dart out. Kenny K gets spotted, but oh, the judge laying down the law.
Judge Dredd gets the third. Kenny K says, okay. Kai puts him down, moves, stay mobile, doesn't get taken out by Core. And Figment walking up close, taken out through the smoke by Infect. Spike picked up, Spot Up 2 players strong versus tNt's 3, and it's a one-man show.
The Spike is on the site. He's good to get the plant possibly 1v3, and he will go down. tNt scrap that together and keep this map alive for themselves.
So close there for Kai. If Kai,
Can I get a drop?
I like the angle, right? Because when we talk about like wide peaks, right? If he is 2 steps to the left, right, he gets that kill and walks away to safety. But he just gets at the corner of his hitbox. Gets taken out by the second peeker in that garage connector.
Feel it.
Oh, man. You hate to see it. Round or game point here for Spot Up. And that's not a good sight. tNt start things off hot with a kill off the bat. Okay, I'm going to come down here. And one more time, it looks like the A push is good.
Yeah, they got 4 players over there. tNt already kind of motioning to try and go for an early rotate. If they do see any utility being used over at the A sites, it's just contact play now coming out from spot up as they are pushing up, and they pushed all the way up long A for free.
Yeah, no contest. Walking on in, Temtem's able to pick off one on the left-hand side. Cryocells has been the top frag, so it's a big push. Kenny K shows up and judges one. Gets taken down after the fact. 3-on-3. It's a joust, baby. Shock Dart. As the players know where they're at. Shock Dart combines with Kai and Tank goes down. 2 players left pushing on in. Spot up with the man advantage. Core holding the breath. Now going to be mobile. Recon Dart going to do the job. Finding 2. And now we see tNt speed it up, but slow it down. Because Spot Up takes the game, the round, and we'll move to a game 2.
Very surprising, and I like what Spot Up did there in the second half of that half, where a lot of their focus was on that C side attack, and then eventually they had to adjust because of what Cryocells was doing from that A flank continually coming in, and that was one of the weaknesses. And so they kind of covered that up by starting to attack the A site towards the tail end of that. And so I really like that adjustment coming up from Spot Up, and that's honestly what helped them out a lot there on the offense.